Hi friends, my name's Jeff. I'm a lawyer here in Nashville. What that means is that I help people whenever they get in trouble with the police. I make sure that they're treated fairly and that they have the best possible things happen to them. And that's why I chose this book. This book is about people like the ones that I help. This book is called Milo Imagines the World. The words in it were written by Matt De La Pena, and the pictures in it were drawn by Christian Robinson. Let's take a read. Milo imagines the world. What begins as a slow, distant glow grows and grows into a tired train that clatters down the tracks. A cool rush of wind quiets into a screech of steel, and when the doors slide open, Milo slips aboard. Can you see Milo getting on the train? Do you see the other people on the platform? The train bucks back into motion as he and his sister squeeze onto the bench seats. The whiskered man beside Milo has his face of concentration, and a businessman has a blank, lonely face. The wedding-dressed woman near the far door has a face made of light, while the dog peeking out of her handbag has no face at all, just a long, lolling tongue. Can you see Milo sitting next to his sister, the man with the whiskers on his face, and the lonely-faced businessman? And look at the woman in the wedding dress with her dog. These monthly Sunday subway rides are never ending, and as usual, Milo is a shook-up can of soda. Excitement stacked on top of worry, on top of confusion, on top of love. To keep himself from bursting, he studies the faces around him and makes pictures of their lives. At a downtown local stop, the whiskered man folds his crossword and hurries off the train. Can you see Milo sitting next to the whiskered man? And his crossword? Milo imagines him trotting through brown mounds of slush. It's a 5-flight climb to his cluttered apartment, where he greets his meowing cats and burrowing rats. Parakeets tweet songs, longing as the man sips his tepid soup, hunched over a game of solitaire. Late that night, the door to the parakeet cage mysteriously falls open, and the cats gather on the cold sill to watch the bird fly around above the free city. Can you see Milo's drawing? The man in the apartment, 5 flights up, and he's eating his soup with his cats, and the birds get free. Milo tugs his sister's sleeve and holds up his picture, but when she turns to look, he can tell that she doesn't see. She's a shook-up can of soda, too. Can you see Milo showing his sister the picture? But she has a lot of feelings, too. A boy in a suit boards the train with his dad. His hair is a perfect part, and there's not a single scuff on his bright white Nikes. Can you see the boy and his dad getting on the train? What do we think Milo's going to imagine about him? Let's find out, friends. Milo imagines the clop, clop, clop of the horse-drawn carriage that carries him to his castle, imagining the click, click, click of the guards slowly lowering the drawbridge. Can you see Milo's drawings? The horse-drawn carriage and the drawbridge. There's even a moat around the castle with an alligator. Can you make an alligator sound? Let me hear them. Rah! All right, friends, let's continue reading. Across the human-made moat, the boy is met by a butler, 2 maids, and a gourmet chef offering him a crust-free sandwich. Milo flips to a fresh page at a bustling midtown stop. When the wedding-dressed woman strides off the train, a band of street performers launches into "Here Comes the Bride," and everyone on the platform cheers. Bum bum ba-dum, bum bum ba-dum. Can you see the bride walking off? And the band's playing for her. Milo imagines the grand cathedral ceremony where the couple will be pronounced husband and wife. Can you see the ceremony? Milo's drawn them holding hands. Imagines the groom whisking his new bride to an awaiting hot air balloon, where the pilot loads them in with blankets and blasts the heat, and up they go, hand in hand, beyond the concrete walls of the city into the infinite blue. Milo holds up the picture too, but his sister shoos him away. Can't you see I'm playing games? Can you see Milo trying to show his sister? But she has a lot of feelings at this time too. He watches her thumbs bang around her smudge screen, then turns back to the boy in the suit. They lock eyes for a few seconds, and suddenly it feels like the walls are closing in around Milo. Can you see them looking at each other? Do you feel like that sometimes, friends? It can feel like that sometimes. The spell is broken when a crew of breakers bound onto the train, announcing, "You all ready for a show?" Several curious faces look up as the beat drops, and now the girls are walking up walls. They're twirling around poles. They're backflipping around shopping bags. When the train pulls into the next stop, they collect a few dollars and scramble for another car. Can you see them dancing? Milo's drawing them too, putting smiles on everyone's face. Milo imagines them going from train to train, doing their act as everyone watches. But even after the performances are over, faces still follow their every move. When they walk down the electronics aisle at the department store, when they cross into a fancy neighborhood, Milo doesn't like this picture. So he puts it away and turns to his reflection in the window. Can you see the girls in the store, walking through the neighborhood, dancing in the train? Milo doesn't like to think about them being stared at. Milo thinks, what do people imagine about my face? Can they see him reciting his volcano poem to his class? Can they hear his mom's soothing voice reading to him a bedtime story over the phone? Can they smell the Chile Colorado bubbling in a pot in his auntie's apartment near the cemetery? Do you think they think about all those things? Milo thinks about those things. Butterflies flood Milo's stomach when it's finally their stop. He follows his sister onto the cold station platform and up the stairs. And above ground, he's surprised. He's surprised to see the boy in the suit a few paces ahead. He's even more surprised when the boy joins him in the long line to pass through the metal detectors. Milo's sister suddenly bends down to give him a hug. "I didn't mean to snap at you," she says. She takes his hand, adding, "You have your pictures ready?" He nods, feeling the warmth of her fingers. As they slowly shuffle forward, Milo studies the boy in the suit, his dad rubbing his thin shoulders, and a thought occurs to him. Maybe you can't really know anyone just by looking at their face. Can you see Milo and his sister in line? They're going through the metal detectors. Can you see the boy in the suit as well? He's going through them as well. Milo tries to reimagine all the pictures he made on the train. Maybe, just maybe, He could have done it like this instead. The lonely man with a family. Or this. Maybe the woman was marrying another woman. Or this. The dancing girls were welcomed in the fancy neighborhood. Welcome home. Milo's chest fills with excitement when he spots his mom through the crowd. His sister rushes to give her a hug before pulling Milo into. And it's in this tight tangle of familiar arms that he feels most alive. They're visiting his mom. The boy in the suit's visiting his mom too. They're all visiting somebody that they love. When they separate, Milo flips through the pad until he finds the right picture. I made this for you. He holds it up and watches for the smile he hopes will spread across his mom's face. And that's Milo Imagines the World. Thank you for reading with me, friends. Have a wonderful rest of your day.